education isn't necessarily working for a good proportion of the young people that are going through the system. If you're a young person going into secondary school now, comprehensive or whatever, there is an expectation that you'll do well in your GCSEs, you'll then move on to A-levels and you'll go to university. There's a bit of a gap between understanding what the other options are. I don't hear hugely colourful or interesting conversation around vocational qualifications. I don't necessarily get a feeling that there's a real understanding of the alternative pathways for young people. And so I suspect that young people feel quite disengaged, or certain groups of young people feel quite disengaged if they don't fit into the cookie cutter mold, for want of a better term, of how you're going to move through the education pathway. We have a system at the moment that feels to me that is under a huge amount of pressure. We see levels of people who need extra support spiking, and schools are really poorly equipped to deal with it.
Is it just a case of where, as a society, we're a lot more in tune to things like the autism spectrum, ADHD?
I think probably. I think, diagnosis is better. I think parents are more aware of, what could, if their child isn't necessarily succeeding, what could be causing that. But equally, I suspect that there's a habit of labelling at the moment, and I think people find themselves labelled quite quickly in certain ways, and potentially that means that you've got an extra proportion of people in the system that are defined in a certain way. But broadly, I think there is a greater understanding, a desire to diagnose more quickly and understand young people, and so I suspect that we're finding more people now than we've ever found before.
The Businessin Wales podcast, sponsored by Sinclair Group, the business media for Wales.